cooperation of our partners with the initiative of the United States Army Africa. I must also appreciate the sound leadership of our respected Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olonishakin, who has led the Nigerian Armed Forces to the successful defeat of the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast of Nigeria. Our successes has direct link to his strategic leadership and indeed his vision and focus to ensure that the Boko Haram menace was dealt with decisively. Our collective efforts have succeeded in the peaceful atmosphere that we've been experiencing since July 2015 to date. And of course, one of the factors that made the United States to bring this summit to Abuja was the successes of Nigerian Armed Forces on the Boko Haram terrorists and indeed other security challenges that have been overcome. We want to appreciate you, AFRICOM, the U.S. Army Africa, and indeed the United States of America. Furthermore, our collaboration and indeed the cooperation that has been existing over the years between Nigeria and the United States of America has strongly been put in the forefront to ensure that we have the base of relations. We've enjoyed a number of support through the provision of intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance facilities. We have also enjoyed training as well as equipment which they have facilitated to support the Nigerian military in its efforts to counter the insurgency we are facing in our country. We are very much appreciative. His Excellency Ambassador Simonton Stewart is here and has played a very important role in that regard. We know that security is quite fundamental. Without security, there won't be development. Therefore, I join the objective to understand the objectives of the focus of the United States of America at bringing about security, stability, and indeed, by implication, prosperity to the continent. This is one of the cardinal points in the strategy of the United States Army Africa to ensure that we have these 3 points as a focus for us to ensure that we get the right security and indeed the stability that is needed, and by also extension prosperity required to develop our continent. It is in this regard that this summit has been focused on unity as a strength, as well as to ensure that the various topics that have been discussed have been well presented and analyzed. I believe the topic on command and control of operational environments within the African continent, as well as the protection of the populace, are very germane topics that have been well digested. The contribution of each and every one of you is well appreciated. And be rest assured, these are some of the take points for us to take home. I want to equally thank our respective African brothers who have come from far and near despite the various challenges that they left behind both at home as well as within their respective services. This is a welcome development. You are here to see that our problems are addressed, and it is up to us to take these challenges into our hands and resolve it. I will expect by the next summit we'll be able to articulate those areas that have not been touched here. And I'm glad that Botswana has taken the right to host this, the 7th summit. I want to congratulate the Chief of Army Staff of Botswana for hosting this, for getting the hosting right, and we look forward to a very successful summit also in Botswana in 2019. On this note, I want to most sincerely thank once again each and every one of you, our facilitators, the management of the Transcorp Hilton Hotel, and indeed all the officers and men of the Nigerian Army, and by implication also the Armed Forces of Nigeria, for being a very good host. And indeed, we have really displayed the true hospitality of the Nigerian people. Yesterday, we had the cultural display, and I did mention the importance of preserving our culture and tradition. Terrorism has dealt serious blow to so many cultures and so many traditions. This, we must protect the population, we must protect our cultural heritage so that we can have something to really say that we belong to a history, a very proud history of an African culture and tradition. On this note, I want to once again wish you safe journey to your various countries and say my best regards to members of your family and colleagues. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, sir, Chief of Army Staff Nigerian, for these remarkable remarks. Next is the United States Ambassador to Nigeria. It is my distinct honor and privilege to invite Ambassador Simpson Stewart to please make his remarks, please. Your Excellency.
Chief of Defense Staff and General Buratai, General Lebeuf, distinguished partners. I asked General Buratai this morning what message he hoped we would take from this thoughtful conversation of recent days. And it is the power of partnership. The power of all of these conversations and connections that each of you have continued here, in some cases begun here, but that, as General Lebeuf just told me, he knows you will continue for the rest of this year, the rest of your careers, and all of us hope the rest of your lives. I am utterly convinced that the future of freedom and of free peoples in the world depends on the future of Africa. Over the course of the next 20 or 30 years, while the population of other places grows slowly or doesn't grow or declines, the population of Africa will double. The next billion men and women will join the billion today and the youth